This is Justin AMZN on April 24th, Tuesday, 2018, and we're looking at the pre-market, getting ready to open up. Looks like a nice bounce off of 1528. Could run up right into 1540 and roll over like we've done the last 2 days, and could roll back down. I mean, could pause at 1500, could stop there, could bounce there. 1500 is the next level. I'd look for it to hold and maybe chop around a little bit. If it gets a little bit of bounce, could rally back up into 1514, and then roll over. So let's get into it. First candle, it does actually push up a little bit higher, doesn't even quite get to 1540, and then rolls back down straight on through 1528. Looks like it's well on its way into 1514, and actually it does come back up, does like a double retest of 1528 here with some upper wicks, and then rolls down and basically tags 1513.95. So great level, great move from the high up here, 1539.50, all the way down to about 5 cents below our line. 5 cents. So it could pause here, could chop around a little bit. Looks like we got some small candles. Let me zoom back in on, that'll work. So you have some consolidation here, and you could actually see this as a Morningstar reversal off of support, and it just doesn't clear this high, doesn't clear this high, and now this candle comes in with, I think it's a shaved bottom. Yeah, so the low and the close are the same in the candle, and it's actually below here. So this is another confirmation of going, of continuing going bearish. It'd be nice to have a little more of a retest. I mean, this was 15 minutes of just some consolidation here, but it could break down, come back up, and then roll over again, similar to how we pushed through, retested, and then rolled over at this same level yesterday. But these levels, they just seem to keep breaking. Tiny bit of a retest, and then it just drops, and the low here is 1502.78, well on our way to 1500, and we don't even stop at 1500. We just continue. There was tons of selling here. The volume spike here, you have not seen a volume spike intraday like this. You have it at the open, you have it typically around the close, but this is the volume that we're at. So so many people stops were hit here. That was the last place that we were looking for it to bounce, is 1500, and we just crushed that support. So how far is it going to go is the next question. It'd be great to get any sort of retest, and you get a little bit of some buying and nothing really to say, yeah, go higher. It just kind of reverses here, and then the highs on these two candles are 12 cents apart from each other. So tweezer-ish looking candle, similar size, and we just kind of have some wicks. There's some people buying in here, buying down here, thinking, okay, this is a good place for it to bounce. It's not bouncing. Here's another, some similar looking size candles. This one's a little bit like a bullish engulfing, but again, it's something that you really want to get above some key areas before you're going to look to actually buy. So all this is bearish. It's just a matter of, okay, where could I short it from here? And sorry, I didn't mean to click those so quickly. Come right into the exponential, 5 exponential. Looks like another Morningstar reversal. This could actually get bought up. Having 2 bullish candles in a row. That's the first time today. Nice small candle here that you could have just gotten in below the low, and a stop up here, a stop here, stop here. There was 3 key areas you could, or actually maybe a 4th one. Stop up here, stop above our 1500 line, a stop above these tweezerish candles, a stop right above that candle. So 4 different places, or at least, if you started up here, quickly move it here, quickly move it here, quickly move it here, and quickly down here, or just take profits when you get down to the 1468 price. So that is our, excuse me, sorry about that. That is our next line, 1568, and then below that is I'm sorry, I said 15. 1468. Then our next line below that is 1455. And we look like we're going to bounce above it. Oh, kind of do a double bottom here. Let's see if it can actually bounce. And starts to actually bounce, double bottoming. Okay, that's good. You got 2 bullish candles in a row. Didn't work out so well last time. This candle here, the high and the close are the same, so this is a shaved top. Lots of people buying here, some indecision, some nice buying candles that were taken out. The highs and the close with the close here and with the close here. Did it again, but this is the first time we've actually closed above these 2 candles. So okay, that looks good for some bullishness. We're still below the moving average, and you really want to wait for something to show kind of a higher high before you're really going to load up. We got a smaller candle, looks like it could be moving right into these lows. We're almost into these lows that are going to act as resistance on our way back up. So okay, got a little bit of selling, through in a lower low on the candle. It's the first time we've seen that in a few candles. So we had this low and this high, and then a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So 20 minutes of actually some buying, 3 candles in a row that are bullish. And again, some small candles just like this, this bullish candle similar to this one. Not quite held by the moving average, but maybe comes up to 1490, 91 into this moving average and then rolls back down. Moves a little bit higher, and we actually get another candle that looks like this candle, that looks like this candle. Doesn't even quite get up here, but then the highs on these 2 are identical. So this is actually a tweezer top on the 5 minute, and one that's actually breaking down, because you could have just bought puts or gone bearish below the low here with a stop here. Again, stop here. There's a lot of places to put stops. Some key areas here. So this would have triggered in, starting to roll over, and just buyers are not able to do much. So this continues down and moves right into the 1468. And again, another level that we're not really going to look to hold as support, because we've been breaking every single one we thought we could do something with. This one is the only one that's really looked like it's going to hold, but it doesn't even get going. Does not make a higher high. So we're still downtrending here. Make a lower low here on the day on the 5 minute, and actually get some bearish momentum into this, not a squeeze, but just bearish momentum. And now we just keep pushing down. This was phenomenal. We actually paused right here at 1455.01, and our line is 1455. So that's a line we've had for a long time. We were just looking at the bigger picture and some of this stuff, and that is the place where we actually broke out of a while back and made this much larger, higher move into the 1500s again, because we were underneath this 1455. Now that we're below 1500, we're right at 1455. So already that was a $45 move. I mean, the move started up here today. You could have bought puts way up here. It'd be great if it wasn't option expiration, or I'm sorry, if it wasn't earnings week, because plenty of time on those puts to just carry you down this move, just to ride that move. And instead, the options are very pricey. You talked about that yesterday. So here we are again, looking, do we bounce, do we pause, what happens? And it looks like we're gonna kind of just hang out, and we have a series of candles here that looks like they're gonna be bought up. We actually had 3 candles in a row here that were, the lows were right around the 1455. Morningstar reversal actually goes a little bit higher. Now we look like we have a double bottom here with, this area being the neckline, or you could just draw your neckline at 1468, and then, that could be your reversal. But this is a really tight double bottom, a little wider than this double bottom that actually moved higher. This could come back up to the exponential moving average, roll over again, or could continue higher, but you really want to get above this high and then a pullback, so this, get above this high and then a pull back into 1468 and then take that higher. Just because there's so much bearishness here. So we came up almost into the 1468 price, 1467.36 on that candle, 1467.32. So this is another tweezer-ish top here, and it just is a lot of selling. Looks like it's going to come right back down here very quickly, maybe put in a multi bottom or something. Starts to do that, and some indecision candles here, somewhat, 3 in a row that you could get in bullish above them for a 1-to-1 back up here, or it could break down again. But again, this is not really the place you want to be shorting. You could have shorted anywhere along here, a retest of a level, retest of these lows in here. That would have been the last best place to go bearish for this kind of rollover, but you're still moving aggressively. Another one, so 20 minutes of this indecision dancing on this level, and these two candles here are tweezer-ish. The lows are 11 cents from each other. Looked like we're going to bounce again, and didn't touch the 21, didn't touch the 21. Actually haven't touched it since these two candles did in the first 20 minutes of the day, and then we actually roll down even further, push below the 1455, and do this double bottom thing again, like we did here, and now we're just doing a little bit of lower run. This is the first time now we've actually touched the 21. We want to get above some of these levels for more of a move higher. But if you look at the range on this, so we started the sell-off, the high here was almost 1540, and the low we just put in is right around 1450. So $90 move on Amazon. I forget the percentage on it. From the yesterday's close here, it's down. It ended, at 381. So the close was 1460. So, it's right around where we're at right now here. But there's some more chopping around to do today. But still just a huge move down. We actually roll over again off that exponential and look like there's more people are going to sell. You got some squeezes going on here that aren't really moving in either direction. Some more consolidation. We got lower highs. Now it's like, okay, we're doing these a little bit quicker. So before there was, like 30 minutes in between here and 30 minutes in between here. Now we've got another one here at just 20 minutes later. So, we're building up some momentum here. We actually do put a little bit of a higher high in. Lower high. Now we have a higher high. This is the first time we've actually gotten above a previous high on the 5 minute. And this is something, now we got 4 bullish candles in a row. We had 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. Just wait. Don't buy here. It's, it's some indecision here that's breaking out, but it could come back down to 1455, then bounce. But you want a little bit of bearishness to come in. And so here's some bearishness. But we actually moved up all the way back into this price. Excuse me. And through a wick, actually made a little bit of a higher high here than here. And but then just kind of came back down. And so this would be a good place to buy down here now that you've made this higher high, you've pulled back a little bit. If you hold, you need to hold this low, but that's where your stop could be, to buy here and look for another bounce up, and actually comes back down right around the same lows here, and it's not really respecting the 1455 anymore. It got through it here, came right back through it here. It's doing a lot better job actually respecting the 1468 price for here, here, and here. Even pausing on it a little bit right here. And so we put in an inside bullish candle, and we start to bounce, and that's the close of the day, right at 1460 and 9 cents. So, man, tomorrow, I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. Looking at this is a great place. This is where you want it to bounce. You want it to hold here, go higher, and just go. just rally out of this. You know, you retested the breakout here. This is a big retest. We didn't really get one through, you know, this day. Got a little bit of a pullback on this day. You know, we're just talking about the stuff that happened, was that last week, this breakout. So we're back down to this level. If you watch some of those old videos, you know, I was talking about, you know, it could come back down to this level. That'd be a great place to buy. I didn't buy it all today because it just didn't work to have such a wide bid-ask spread on the options. I was considering it when we were down in here, the 1455. I'm like, this is almost respecting it too well, because we came right back in here. You know, we stayed above it by, you know, 27 cents, 16 cents, and it bounced again. It's like, oh man, that looks too good to be true. And I'm like, I'm just gonna wait. It's so bearish. Watch it just takes out that low, and it did. And I thought it could just continue on, similar to this one where it put in a little bit of bullishness and then broke that down, retested, broke it down again. You know, it looked like it could do the same thing here, just with a longer consolidation, which means it could move a little bit further. But anyway, if we look at a couple options, oops, didn't mean to do that. So if we look at a couple options, you know, calls are just losing all their value all day long. So this is the 1525 call, losing, you know, value from up at 4,800 down to 2,000. Any normal week, this, you know, the 1525 would have nothing left on it. Not necessarily nothing, but you're $65 out of the money at this point. There shouldn't be much value, even on a Tuesday. There shouldn't be. This should be down, you know, around a couple dollars, not $2,000. By a couple dollars, I mean a couple hundred, maybe. The put, the 1475 put, opened up around 23 and you know, more than doubled. But it mostly moved higher. There, you know, there's a couple places that pulled back. You know, we saw some pullbacks on the you know, like this kind of move here, where it was retesting the breakdown, holding the resistance, but there wasn't a line or anything here. You would have just been going off these candles, tweezer-ish, and maybe gotten in below that one, but that wouldn't have worked here. You know, it would have worked to wait on that trigger. Could have gotten triggered in there. So let's see if we had set up at 10:30. So at 10:30, the price is, the high on this is $44.30, so $4,430, and you could have gotten in above that, $44.50 over here, with a stop down at, oh, the low there was you know, 40.77, so $43.50 by $40.50, so $300 R, you know, to get in here on its way up, and you know, my R is not big enough to do that. My risk is not big enough to be able to do that. And then you've got a couple R, maybe 2 to 3 R getting out up here on that next swing. So much lower volume than usual. Like even these spikes here, people were buying, that was 44 contracts, you know, way lower volume than normally you see on these options. Take a look at the daily. So I threw in the 100 simple moving average, because this triangle that popped in here a couple days ago, we're rolling over at the high of it. The low of the triangle is right here around 1387, 1386, somewhere in here. The 100 simple is 1376. It's not that much of a stretch to get back down here. It's still above this low. It would still be pretty close to following this triangle. Not to say that it's going to hold the triangle, but if it pauses here for any length of time, you know, it's going to make this triangle look even stronger for a bounce or rally back up into any of these levels, you know, as this consolidates. And then you've got, you know, many months of consolidation going sideways, similar to how we had here. You had a couple months of consolidation that broke out. This could even be larger. You could have some more consolidation through some summertime, and you know, in a couple months. And let's see if I can. Well, let me go further. No, let me go any further. I'll have to add some more empty cells or empty days to the right. I think I've only got 10. Anyway, but if you picture this, coming down even tighter, I mean, we could be in this range for longer. This could be a really nice distribution up here. And, but anyway, it just looks like it could easily come down. Even the triangle itself suggesting that the range you're going to come down to is this red box. I can't point to it, but the prices are right below where we're at here. I mean, it almost touched the top of that box today, and the bottom of the box is just below this line that we have drawn in here, down around 1350. I think it was 1355 again. So this could continue, is all I'm trying to say. This could totally continue. You can see how the line we had here at 1455 has appeared to hold. It appears to have held this move. If we switch this over to the hourly and look at what happened, we established these prices, or this price, based on the indecision of this day, or the sell-off of this day, and then some indecision during the day. Or pre-market here, during the day here, like all these touches, and all the while making some higher lows through here, broke out. You can go look at any of these videos about this with the breakout. Now we've come right back to it. We're consolidating on it, and it's entirely possible to bounce here. Totally possible. The hourly is a great chart to be looking at to see how this has moved. This is, there's a lot of selling here. It can definitely continue. I'm not saying it's not going to. A great consolidation, if it does continue, that this could be, a stop. This could be your entry here, or whatever it bounces to and then rolls over again. And then just keep in mind that the last time we were up at this level, we were selling off, and then we were selling off, and then we were selling off, and then we were selling off over a number of days. And if we have a move like this, for this one, even if you take it from here, like this, 1576 up here, all the way down to 1346. I mean, that's, $230. And you do the same thing here. 230 is all the way down to 1310. I was going to say 1310. That sounds too far. 1310, possibly, if you have a similar sell-off from here. Now, we did have the high, so let me take another step back and look at the 4-hour. And we've got, all these triangles that are possibly going to play out. So who knows? I mean, we're watching this one. This one is what moved us further lower. If we have the same kind of price range from this sell-off, from here as we do from here, then you're talking possibly down to 1310, is that what we said? And now you're at some old support here and some old congestion here. And or it could just pause the triangle, and that even looks better, that range in the triangle, because it looks like we actually made it. So this is looking at the 4-hour triangle. It looks like we made it into that box today based on this triangle's assessment. It's just having the triangle. See, I don't see it now. Oh, it appears up here in red text. A triangle something. Triangle study. I'm not sure what it was, but I thought it was helpful to see some consolidation. Sometimes your eyes gravitate to it, sometimes they don't. Entirely feasible to break this lower. This is a great indecision candle on the 4-hour. So all of our selling was in the first half of the day, and the second half of the day was basically, we're not sure which way we're going. On an old resistance, retesting as new support. And interestingly, on the 4-hour, you have the 100 period simple moving average cutting right on through it, or just a little bit above. So a great place to take this higher, a great place to take it lower, basically a bracket trade. And if we do continue lower, next target is seriously consider the 1380 range here, where the triangle would come in, and the daily 100 simple moving average It does mean cutting through the support we had drawn in here, and the support line was 1404. That could easily be hit, and then it may meander a little bit lower or could race down and hit it. But because it's been so long since the 100 was touched, we were way back here in October. The last time we had anything to do with the 100 simple, we were below it then. So we've been above it since October 27th on earnings. And so with earnings a couple days away, it makes sense that we could come down here, and then whatever earnings does, if it opens up further down, if it takes out all these selling candles and opens up here, we've yet to see what will happen. So we'll review that in a couple days and put our plan together for how to trade it for earnings. But it was just really tough watching these options, how they were had such a wide bid-ask spread, and just made it really hard to take any of these moves today. Had you been, let me see, I wanted to come back to the 5. Had you been shorting up in here any of these times, so this day or yesterday, with buying some puts way down here, thinking hey, this could really pull back. You have some trend line here. Let me see if I can draw that in. So that's getting better at seeing this stuff. So you're not quite there. I guess if we move this into the day, so that could work from this high, touching this high, touching this high, this high. That's probably pretty close. That'd be useful to have having drawn that in. Highs here, high here, high here, high here. You could have been selling off of the high there. So that would have been nice to have. Let me see if I can copy that. Let me duplicate. Where's duplicate? Duplicate. There we go. I was just going to see if there's a bottom edge here too. So that works. So low here, got through it, didn't come down to it, passed around through it, and then didn't even pay attention to it. So the low doesn't work as well as the high, unless I've got it drawn in the wrong place. I mean, it's kind of hard to draw it here when it all started back up here. But yeah, anyway, the high works a whole lot better, this downtrend angle. But it's not a perfect match to everything, but it's the stock market. May never be. But anyway, this is Justin Amazon, and hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned to see what happens to Amazon next and figure out how to back trade it. Thanks.